To anyone in China, she looks like a total foreigner. Sharp features, deep-set eyes, tall and slender, everything about her screams Western. But then she opens her mouth, and out comes a thick rural accent from Henan province.
老表们，回来哥买了，你看买熟了，快点回来啊！黄瓜片呢，给你安排上。
She calls herself Xiao Haini, little black girl in Chinese. Her name is Fan Zihe, and she's a viral sensation in China with over 1 million followers online. She lives with her adoptive parents in a regular farming village in central China. She farms the land, does hard labor, and works just like every other villager. Nothing about her lifestyle is staged. This is her real, everyday life. In 2022, she started posting short videos on Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok. People were stunned. Her appearance said one thing, but her voice, her accent, told a completely different story. They nicknamed her Cleopatra because the contrast was just that extreme. One video, where she's simply eating a bowl of noodles, blew up across the internet.
老表们，看今上午吃的啥饭？鸡蛋捞面条。
There was something raw and real about it. Viewers said just watching her eat made them hungry. Some even said they accidentally ate more themselves while watching. But behind her viral fame is a story far deeper. Through her videos, people learned she was once abandoned as a baby. A Chinese couple found her and raised her as their own. That's how she ended up with a loving home and a life that couldn't be more unexpected. So how did a child left behind grow up to become a farming influencer with the face of a foreigner and the voice of rural China? And why are millions of people so fascinated by her story?
老表们，你看，俺妈叫俺在这地里薅草，这草真是比玉米还多，赶紧看看，咋弄的？叫死人！妈，不如咱弄点除草剂的打打吧。
Let's go back to 2002. Mr. and Mrs. Fan, an honest, hard-working couple from rural China, took a big leap. They traveled to Pakistan to find work. They were just ordinary people chasing a better life. But this trip would change everything. One day, by pure chance, they saw a little girl on the street. She was all alone, an orphan. Something about her struck them, so small, so helpless, with no one in the world to care for her. They stood there, overwhelmed. They barely made enough to support themselves. Life was already a struggle. How could they possibly raise a child, especially in a foreign country, and one that wasn't even theirs? But walking away didn't feel right. They knew that if they left her there, she'd likely face a bleak future. So despite everything, they made a decision that would define the rest of their lives. They took her in. They chose compassion over comfort. They brought the little girl into their tiny rented home, not because they had to, but because they couldn't bear not to. Back then, they had no idea how this one moment of kindness would shape the years to come. Eventually, they brought her back to China. Raising a child in their hometown would be much more manageable, especially with support from relatives and a lower cost of living. And that's where her new life began. A foreign-looking child, raised in the heart of rural China. If you're moved by this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more.
老表们，吃饭了，你看看，这一家子，这多一不吃胡薯面条香的慌，这天天吃面条又烦的慌。这俺妈弄的这面条，俺爸缺的汁儿。
Because Fanzi he was born in Pakistan, her skin was naturally darker than the other children around her. And for a long time, that brought her a lot of pain. As a little girl, she couldn't understand why she looked so different from everyone else. Sometimes other kids, too young to know better, refused to play with her just because of the color of her skin. When her adoptive parents, Mr. and Mrs. Fan, found out, they didn't brush it off as just kids being kids. They stood firmly by her side. They comforted her, reassured her, and made sure she knew she was loved unconditionally. With their support, the sadness in her heart slowly faded. Little by little, she learned how to connect with the children around her. And eventually, the teasing stopped. The loneliness faded. Mr. and Mrs. Fan didn't have much money, but what they lacked in wealth, they made up for in love. They gave her everything they could, the best they had to offer. They weren't her biological parents, but their love for her ran just as deep. She remembers one winter when she got sick. There was no car, no way to reach the hospital. Snow was falling hard. Her father didn't hesitate. He wrapped her up, put her on his back, and walked for miles through the mountains to get her to a doctor in the city. Every time she talks about that memory, her eyes well up with tears, because in that moment, she understood exactly what kind of father she had. As the internet era took off, millions of people across China started turning to social media, sharing bits of their daily lives with the world. It became a trend, documenting life, filming the everyday, and posting it online.
突然发了个视频就火了，然后呢就慢慢的自己慢慢开始摸索着拍。老表们，这油菜真弄好了，你看我的视频都是我自己拍、自己剪、自己弄的，都是随拍，就记录一下生活。
Fancy, he joined in, but unlike many others, she didn't rely on flashy clothes, fancy sets, or clickbait titles. Her videos were simple, raw, real. She didn't try to impress. She just showed her life as it was. And that authenticity struck a chord. She's naturally beautiful, warm, and down to earth. And that unique mix helped her carve out a path that no one else could copy. Her following kept growing. Henan, the province she lives in, is known for its love of noodles. So naturally, noodles show up a lot in her videos. And when people watch her eat, they love it. There's something almost comforting about it. She makes the food look so good, so inviting, it makes people hungry just watching.
天天面条，天天面条，宽面条、细面条、细面条、宽面条，又弄烩面，今后又弄烩面，天都面条，他得学死了。
Many followers joke that they'd love to try a bowl of her noodles someday. One comment in particular went viral. Silent, international supermodel, speaks, neighbor from Henan. And honestly, they're not wrong. When she's dressed up, she doesn't just look like a model. She looks like she's ready to step onto the Miss World stage. Elegant, poised, with striking features that turn heads instantly. But the moment she speaks, that thick Henan accent brings everything right back down to earth. It's that contrast, glamour on the outside, local charm on the inside, that makes her unforgettable.
到我这长指甲掰不了玉米，掰不掉，看你不掰了。
By building her presence on social media, Fanzi, he not only gained a devoted fan base, but also helped lift her family's financial situation. She recalls that as a child, she once longed for a bicycle, but her parents couldn't afford one. They ended up selling grain just to make her wish come true. Now that she's earning her own money, she's given back by buying them a car, making everyday errands much easier and giving them a bit of the comfort they once gave up for her.
自从那以后，我就开始试着拍更多的视频，来记录我的生活。我的视频里面啥都有，有变装的，有喷客的，但是更多的是俺们河南农村村里面办喜事、吃大喜，跟着俺爸去逛街，平时晒晒自己的饭菜。我就想着把这些拍的，我的粉丝也越来越多了。 有很多人问我的视频是不是有公司包装，因为受到大家的喜爱，我现在每个月靠着更新视频和偶尔接个广告，能赚一笔不小的外快。这些钱对于我来说可是最重要的。我就想着能多赚点钱，帮助家里面改善生活条件。以后我要跟俺爸妈在城里面买个房子，让俺爸妈过上更好的生活。
In everyday life, Fanzi, he keeps things simple. She rarely wears makeup and blends in completely with the other villagers. No spotlight, no filters, just the same down-to-earth lifestyle as everyone around her. She has plenty of friends. You'll find her catching fish in the river, climbing trees to pick fruit, or helping harvest corn in the fields. She's like the spirited little fairy of the countryside, always full of energy, always smiling, free to play without a care in the world. Her happiness is simple, pure, and all of it started with a single act of kindness. Because years ago, her parents chose compassion over comfort, they gained something priceless. A daughter everyone now admires, a life filled with joy they never expected. Does happiness really have to come from luxury or a polished lifestyle? The answer is no. True happiness can be found in simplicity, in good health, in quiet days, in being surrounded by the people you love, even the most ordinary life can be something extraordinary. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story like this one. See you in the next video.